Hi everyone. I thought tonight I would share my testimony. I was born into a Christian home. I was 4 years old and my grandma babysat me a lot. And I'm so thankful she did because one day she was watching a show and they were talking about heaven and hell. And when they started talking about hell, I was terrified. I ran to my grandma and I said, "Grandma, I do not want to go to hell." And she says, "Well, you have to accept Christ." And I was like, "Well, I don't know how to do that, Grandma." She sat me down and she shared some scripture with me. And that afternoon, I accepted Christ. Well, the next day, I was the same old Shauna. And I kind of just lived my life for the next 8 years. Just living what I thought was a Christian life. And at the age of 12, we were talking about baptism in youth group. And well, that sparked my interest, and I wanted to be baptized because that was the next step in following Christ. So that summer, I was baptized. But also that year, my parents split up. And was I ever devastated? I did not know where to turn. And I didn't know if I should cry, if I should yell, scream. But I showed no emotion. Not too long after my parents split, I was reading in Psalms 119, verse 105, which says, "Thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." And for several years after, that has been my life verse. Because he's leading and I just need to follow. And that's what I did. So I prayed many times a day just that things would work out for Nathan and I. And a year later, that prayer was answered. When my parents finally divorced, we were living with Dad and we were so happy. And then in my second year of grade 12, I started to do a nosedive again. And I got an online relationship. And, well, as a 17-year-old girl, I knew everything. No matter what my dad said, or my grandma said, or my grandpa said, I was right. And I went so low that the pastor even said that I had to be careful, that I really didn't know him. And in my head I said, yes, I do know him. Then one night I was talking to him and just something that he said, just my heart dropped to my stomach. And I got this big knot in my throat. And I knew he wasn't the one because I didn't know him. After that, my grandma told me that she never slept the whole 9 months I was with him. She prayed every day, every night. just because she cared so much for me that she didn't want me to make the wrong decision. And then after, she also told me that the pastor even cried for me. And my heart was broken. Because that summer that he left our church, it was after that I split up with the guy online. And I felt so bad. There were so many praying for me. And I was just being stubborn and selfish. But I finally saw the light and I did what was right. And also when I was in high school, I had the lifetime of an opportunity to go to New York for a mission trip with the youth group. And, well, I knew my dad couldn't pay for it. And I wasn't working. But the Lord provided. I prayed and I said, I do not want this opportunity to be finished. If the door closes, it closes. If it doesn't, you will provide. And a couple weeks later, a couple in the church handed me an envelope. And I was like, well, what's this? So I opened it, and it was money for me to go to New York. The Lord wanted me to go to New York. Well, that summer was the best summer I ever had. Even though I got a little bit homesick. But the Lord taught me so much of how diverse this world is. You got the ones that are on the streets and they don't know the Lord. It just saddened me so much. And then I finally found a job after high school. And I loved working there, and I met this girl there, and we kind of had the same background, Christian parents, and we kind of just hit it off. And then one Sunday, she came to my church, and I was like, what? Nice. I was so happy when she came to my church, and she's still there, and I'm so thankful. Then, about 4 years after I had that job, the plant decided that it was going to move to Mexico. So, I was without a job, and for almost a year, I spent it with God. I depended on Him and His leading to take me in the direction He wanted. And I prayed every night that I would find a job that I love. And guess what? It happened. I'm working in a retirement home that I love. I love working with the elders. It just makes me so happy to know that I'm helping someone else. I just pray that even though my life's not so exciting, I still have a relationship with Christ, and that's the best thing that could ever happen in a person's life. And I'm so thankful that as a young girl of age of 4, I accepted Christ. But it's never too late to accept Christ because He hasn't come yet. But if He came tonight, would you be ready? I just pray that you'll take what I said and think about it, because without Christ, you're nothing. Without Christ, you're going to hell. And that's one place you do not want to go. I know the world makes it out to be a party, but it's going to be more than a party. It's going to be the worst party you've ever been to, that lasts for a lifetime. And I just pray that you will make a decision to accept Christ. I'm praying for you. Bye.